People love betting on shining stars. They cheer for those who stand tall from the start, who are talented, confident, and always at the center of attention. But no one bets on the underdog, the ordinary person who starts from the bottom, stumbles through failures, and keeps going even when no one believes in them. Singh had always been that underdog. He worked as a junior graphic designer at a creative studio, surrounded by colleagues with prestigious school backgrounds, award-winning portfolios, and fluent social skills. Compared to them, Singh was plain and unremarkable. He graduated from an ordinary college, had no dazzling awards, and was never good at flattering leaders or showing off his work in front of others. From his first day at work, he was quietly labeled replaceable. Senior designers often took his preliminary drafts, modified them slightly, and claimed ideas as their own. His creative proposals were repeatedly brushed off without careful review. Team leaders always praised other employees' flashy designs, but never noticed the subtle, thoughtful details in Singh's works. The most unfair moment happened 1 month before the annual company creative competition. The competition was the biggest opportunity of the year. The winner would get a promotion, a salary raise, and the chance to lead the company's brand projects. Every designer in the team prepared eagerly, eager to seize the precious chance. Singh also cherished this opportunity. For 3 whole weeks, he stayed late every night, polishing his design concept again and again. He focused on practicality, user experience and emotional resonance, abandoning empty fancy effects, and crafted a complete, down-to-earth original work. He finally mustered up his courage and submitted his proposal. However, a senior designer named Kai directly rejected his manuscript in the internal review. Kai was the most popular designer in the team, good at gorgeous visual effects and sleek speeches. "Your style is too plain and old-fashioned," Kai said casually in front of the whole team. "It has no sense of design and cannot win the competition. It's a waste of review time." No one stood up for Singh. No one bothered to study the logical details and creative intentions hidden in his design. Everyone followed the public opinion, thinking his work was indeed mediocre. What Singh never knew was that Kai had taken a fancy to his poor creative concept. After suppressing his proposal, Kai slightly modified the framework, added some gorgeous special effects, and prepared to submit it under his own name. On the day before the official submission, Singh accidentally saw Kai's revised design draft. The overall concept, core logic and creative framework were exactly the same as his original work, only the superficial visual decoration had been changed. All the thoughtful details he had polished for countless late nights were completely retained. For a moment, anger and grievance flooded his heart. Many colleagues advised him to give up. "You're just a new junior. Fighting a senior will only make you lose your job. It's better to endure it silently." Even Singh once hesitated. He was ordinary, with no background and no connections. It seemed impossible for him to overturn the established result. But that night, sitting alone in the empty office, looking at the countless revision records and timestamps saved in his computer, he made up his mind. Ordinary people can yield to hardship, but never to unfair plunder. He would not let his silent efforts be stolen, nor would he let true creativity be buried by utilitarianism and prejudice. He sorted out all the original materials, the first draft sketches dating back 3 weeks ago, every revision record, detailed design explanation documents, and late-night working screenshots. All evidence clearly proved that the core creativity belonged to him from the very beginning. The next day's company public review meeting was attended by all department leaders and professional judges. Kai took the lead to go on stage to report his design with fluent words and gorgeous visual presentation. He won continuous praise from the judges. Everyone thought he would be the definite champion of the competition. Just as the applause gradually faded, Singh stood up calmly. He was not flustered or impulsive. He did not argue wildly or vent his anger. He simply asked politely, For a 5-minute supplementary explanation, under everyone's doubtful gaze, Singh projected all his original design records in chronological order. This core creative concept was completed by me 3 weeks ago. All the logical frameworks and detail settings of this design are my original creations. The only difference in the current work is the superficial decorative effects. The timestamps were clear. The derivation process was complete, and the detail logic was consistent. Every piece of evidence was solid and irrefutable. The entire conference room fell into dead silence. Kai's face turned pale instantly. He tried to defend himself, but he could not explain the very original drafts that Singh presented. He had no corresponding revision records at all, and all his arguments collapsed in an instant. The judges quickly made a judgment result. Kai's work was disqualified for plagiarism. His year-end assessment was downgraded, and he lost all promotion qualifications. All the praise he had gained vanished overnight. Meanwhile, the judges were deeply impressed by Singh's rigorous design logic, down-to-earth creative thinking and complete original system. They commented that true design strength was in the creativity and practical logic, not superficial gorgeousness and empty packaging. Singh officially won the championship of the creative competition with absolute strength. In an instant, all the prejudice and neglect he had endured vanished completely. The colleagues who once looked down on him were full of surprise and admiration. The leaders took the initiative to invite him to join the core project team and gave him an exceptional promotion and salary raise. Facing everyone's sudden attention, Singh remained calm and humble. He knew this was not a sudden miracle, but the reward of countless silent efforts. Many people only admire the sudden counterattack of the underdog, but no one sees the lonely persistence behind the counterattack. Ordinary people's profits never relying on luck, but on never giving up their persistence, never compromising with unfairness, and always polishing their strength silently. No one's effort will be buried forever. Prejudice can block the spotlight for a while, but it can never defeat real strength. Those who are willing to sink down, polish themselves silently, and stick to their original heart will eventually break through all doubts, surpass all dazzling stars, and become their own most powerful light.